Welcome, 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 welcome. Da 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 da. Welcome, 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 welcome. Da 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 da. Welcome, 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 welcome. Da 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 da. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. Welcome to the first episode of day one of when the storm actually hit. Yeah, so I'll show you what outside looks like. But what's on my heart right now? Live life, breathe air. I know somehow we're gonna get there and be so wonderful. It's all for real. I'm telling you just how I feel. So wake up the members of my nation. Alright, going back to editing. One thing that never ceases to amaze me is how the sky always looks like nothing happened when a storm passes. And during the storm, it was so hard to sleep. I mean, I cannot even imagine what persons whose roof came off, or they were in the middle of it and they had to watch it, destroy their property and stuff, had to go through. That's traumatizing, okay? But today would be cleanup day since the rains, the wind, and everything had passed, and I'm taking up all the clothes, the cloth, everything that would have been used to wipe up water, or to at least hold the water, because it was so much, so my room ended up getting flooded. But we have to do what we have to do, and that was it. Call my mama to come in and help, to move some stuff around, because I have a big mat in my room, which technically worked to my advantage because a lot of the water also got soaked up in the mat, so it was heavy, and you'll see us struggling with this at some point, but getting some of the stuff out of the way so that we could actually lift up the mat and get it out of the room so it could be sun. If we didn't do that, then it would have been so stink. So that's what we're doing right now. Are you good? No. Right here, we just got that light, and it really made me realize and appreciate the fact that it matters who you're around when you're going through a rough time. It matters who you surround yourself with, because they can either break you, add to the discouragement, or keep your spirits lifted. Hey guys, anyway, my mother volunteered me. Apparently, volunteered me to go put up people in Iraq. Do I know who to do this? No. Am I going to find a scissors? Yes. So we're gonna build, we're gonna be Bob. I beat out the builder. But on the other years, my hair is combed. Blessings and honor, glory and power be on. Boy. That's so like You see, I'm struggling and don't believe if what I'm doing is right.
No, it ain't right.
You're not helping, so okay. Of course, I'm gonna jump in here because every time I'm supposed to be building something, quote unquote, some always mess up, you know. Some always mess up. I have to pull it back off, and I have to reapply. I have to look up on instructions. Oh my gosh, you know, like we just wish to get it one time and done, but that's not the case. So, mommy came to assist me because it was taking some time, and of course, building anything, of course, me injure myself. Of course, I cut my hand, but you know, we move. My mommy was very helpful this time. She made it way more easier, so I could just put on the parts and we could get the show on the road. Okay, big up my mother. What's good, everybody? What's good? What's poppin'? It has been a week and around 4 days when I'm recording this since the passing of Hurricane Melissa that passed over the island of Jamaica. And at first I was like, boy, as soon as I can jump back on the scene, I feel like I just take another break just to kind of regroup. But I was like, you know, let not the circumstance, let not what has happened, no, silence your voice, but more so use whatever impact you might have, as well as speak what's on your heart, what's on your mind, and use it as a form of encouragement, use it as a form, because I don't just want to be like venting either. Is like, use it as a form of encouragement, use it as a form of sharing your thoughts. And I know a lot of persons have been affected. A lot of persons have lost positions. They have lost homes. They've lost people. They have lost, you know, crops, whatever it is. They have lost a lot. And at first, there was this deep sense of like just survivor's guilt in a way. And I was like, God, like, how do you, because I was battling, and you can let me know if this is something that, you know, you were facing or you are facing by the time you see this video in the comments. But at first I was like, God, how do we go back to a sense of normalcy, knowing that some persons are not going back to normal at all? Like, they don't know where to start from, they don't know where to rebuild, they don't know how to rebuild, they don't know how to feel, they don't know them left from them right, like they're just not here. How do we just go back to normal? How do I go back to normal? And it's not just only feeling a way so that, for example, I'm in my home and there are other persons that don't have a home right now, they don't know where to sleep, they have family members they haven't heard from. Like, it's not even just that, it's just like, how do you return to normal when you have the knowledge of all of this? Like, how do you mentally return to normal knowing that all of this is happening? And I heard it on the radio where a psychologist, I believe, she phrased it very well, because apparently a lot of persons have been going through survivor's guilt. But she said it's normal to go through that, but don't let it like push you towards the edge of, you know, just depression. Don't let it push you towards the edge of, you know, suicide or all of that, but let it push you towards compassion. And I heard the statement and I held on to it, because I'm like, that's what it is. The truth is that a lot of persons will not return to normal. The truth is that a lot of persons will be in need, will be in lack. There'll be persons that to this day they'll be devastated and they don't even know how they're going to start rebuilding or how they're going to survive the months ahead. But what it does encourage me is that even as a people, as a nation, this should push us to be more compassionate, you know. This should push us not to be selfish but selfless in a way. It should push us to want to build back that community feeling, you know, that I feel like we've been lacking for the past couple of years, if I'm being honest, I feel like we've been lacking this compassion, this community feeling where it literally like how our motto, out of many one people, it literally feels like we're different people but we're still one nation, right? Different personalities, different makeup, different interests, but we are still one people, which means that I am my brother's keeper, and what concerns you concerns me. If you are in need, if you're in lack and I have it, then I'm gonna try and support you. Because really, if any of us are seeing the impact the hurricane has had on some persons, some communities, just some places, parishes, and the things that are needed, things that would seem like luxury for some persons, are not essential, things that would have seem even just like normal things that you're supposed to have now become a necessity, an essential thing for other persons. So I guess in this medium, I just say, if you can help. Like, this is not time to be stingy. This is not the time to, not care. This is not the time to say, oh, it's me, myself, and I. Because at the end of the day, life can turn around very quickly. You never know when it's your turn. And that's just the truth. You never know what life can throw at you. You never know when you can be on the other end of the stick. So if you can help. If you can give. If you can give money, find a reliable person or community or organization, that you can give to, that they're helping persons. If you can give products, if you can give food items, if you can give even diapers, you can give formula, if you can give your time. I know a lot of persons will also send things, but if you can also give your time. Some person just want to know that they're not alone. Some person just want to know that they have a listening ear. Sometimes person just want to know, people even just care to come and look for them, to be like, hey, I heard XYZ, are you good, are you okay, what do you need in this moment? Whatever it is that you can give. That can be your time, it can be money, it can be goods, it can be services. A lot of homes have been destroyed. If you can lend a hand. Like, I don't know, I'm really just praying that, one, we bring back that community feeling that we once had, literally, where it feels like it's a village raising, each other. I know we say it's a village raising a child, but kind of just intertwining, where it's a village raising, everybody at this point. And at the same time, I also pray that our hearts remain grateful to God, because everybody in whatever state they're in can be grateful. And it might sound harsh, it might sound weird, but for those who have a home, you might be grateful for your property. For those who have their crops, you might be grateful for produce, that you still can sell something. For somebody who just have life, you might be grateful for life, because where there's life, there's hope, and there's still possibility. So at every aspect, let's please try and find gratitude. It helps with your mental. It helps to remain focused, that a future can still be carved out, it still can be achieved, and both can work in tandem, grieving and being grateful, sometimes being overwhelmed, but at the same time taking time to slow down and be like, let me refocus, let me recharge, let me come back to myself. And I pray that our hearts will just fully turn to the Lord, that we will understand that at the end of the day, God is still good and he still kept us, and his mercy and his sovereignty still reigns. So use it as, for some of us it might be a wake-up call, for some of us it might be reassurance, for some of us it might be a call to come home, to return to the Lord. So there's just a lot to think about, but I thought I'd share that tidbit, because I don't think I'm the only one that would have been going through a little bit of survivor's guilt, a little bit, because I thought about persons who, when they look around and they see what's left, if there's anything left, for some person they might have felt like they should have just died instead of going through all of this. But no, life is mercy. Life is something that reminds us that there's hope. And I really was just praying for the comfort of their hearts as well. So let the guilt, when I say guilt, let the feelings that we may feel enlarge our compassion. There you go, our compassion tank, and push us towards being helpful, not feeling helpless, but being helpful as a people, because there's something all of us can give. So I'm leaving that tidbit with you. I have no idea if this is the end of the vlog. If it is, then thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining. And stay prayed up, stay safe. And I love you guys so much. If this is not the end of the vlog, then I will see you in the next, video. I'll see you in the next clip. All right. Bye. It was truly heartbreaking to see the devastation that would have occurred, and to see the parts of the island of Jamaica when we looked at it was almost unrecognizable in some areas. To know that person would have lost so much, literally their entire livelihood, it was honestly unbelievable. But something that I was talking to them about too is, I pray that we'll never stop giving. I pray that we'll never stop helping. I pray that we'll never stop praying and seeking and just finding ways to build back Jamaica. Because these are people's lives we're talking about. We're not even talking about just building back buildings and properties, but lives, building back community. And as I said, we have a tendency to look at things as a 9-day wonder, and then it just fades away. Maybe really become a people united, resilient, and stick together despite the storms, because this requires all of us.
내려가시면